and I'm doing some painting. I've got this big woolly rhino I've worked on it. I might need to put some grass on the base, but what I am doing today is I am painting some serpent men. And these are the bones white serpent men. So I've got a bunch of them. They look like that. And that's the color I tried to zenithal with. And I don't much care for it. And I'm going to probably go over it with one of my green um, speed paints. I want to get this guy done eventually too. He's very close. I just need to do his clothes and his boots. But let's see here. I've been up early today. Jumped out of bed just before noon. Just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. Gotta get drunk before the day begins and my mom starts bitching about my friends. Yeah. I don't know why either, guys. If you're wondering, yeah, I don't know why either. Oh, where's my brother?
What's up, homie?
What you doing?
Eating lunch.
Eating lunch.
Yeah, I made egg drop soup.
Egg drop soup. Eating some egg drop soup. That sounds good.
It's got everything that growing hostas need.
Yeah. Eggs and drops.
Yep.
So just looking at my miniature of King Baldwin.
Let me look at next week's calendar of wonder.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see.
All right, see.
Wednesday was pretty clear for me this time. I don't want to do it Monday, much as we do, because whatever. I'm probably going to take PTO. I mean, granted, we could do this up like
You with your popcorn. So, what are you doing today?
Gotta take corn dog to work today.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'll probably play some WoW.
All right. I think I'm gonna do these snakes with some Vallejo Express colors, orc flesh.
We need to create one. What I'll do is I'll create one, Leo. That's us discussing it.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, our old group chat had.
And
while there's nothing wrong.
Fell asleep to Event Horizon last night.
You always fall asleep to Event Horizon last night. I fell asleep to the Sword of Shannara audiobook.
Oh. Yeah, I've gotten to where now it's like not even scary. It just, I put it on because it knocks me out.
That was an old flick. I'm causing some trouble and shit.
Yeah. Sword of Shannara. If I remember correctly from that one, I think my favorite character was the human that had the friend that was a troll.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember maybe even crying when I was a little kid when the troll died.
You and me both, brother.
That's so sad. But I mean, Sword of Shannara, that's a post-apocalyptic story, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, one thing I liked about it quite a bit,
Was that?
the fact that the gnomes were kind of assholes.
Yeah, the gnomes were the bad guys.
Yeah, they're a bunch of dicks. I like that. I like when they kind of, a storyteller kind of swaps some stuff up a little bit. You know?
Now, all the characters, everybody in the party were good characters, well written.
Right.
But the one-handed human and the troll.
Yeah. They were basically like the Chewbacca and Han Solo of the story, really.
Yeah, and the elf brothers were cool too.
Yeah, they were. And wasn't there a thing where basically it was like after a nuclear war, the elves had hid wherever, and the dwarves or gnomes or whatever had went underground, and like over the thousands of years, they all become what they become.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I don't remember.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
I think tonight I'm going to listen to the Book of Swords.
Now, those are good books.
Yeah.
Fred Saberhagen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are really good books, and
Some of my favorite.
And there are some really good characters in them. Some of whom are not even human.
Yep.
I mean, I think in the Book of Swords, one of everybody's favorite characters is a damn poodle.
Yeah.
What's his name? Draffet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a gigantic mutated poodle.
I'm also a big fan of The Empire of the East, and I have you to thank for that.
Well, Empire of the East is the story leading up to the sword books.
Yeah.
Because after the Empire of the East was overthrown, then all these years pass, and that's when some human found like Bullfinch's mythology. And because the human thought that it was actual, like, real stuff, the whatever it is that Ardna generated that stopped the nukes for a long time.
Yeah, the field.
Yeah, well, it causes human belief to actually cause these gods to come into existence.
Yeah.
And that's an issue. Except, you know, when Draftnet realizes they're not human, so
he can fight them and kill them.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of Ares, I think.
Really bad.
Yeah. But Ares deserved it. All of the gods they created were just assholes, every one of them.
Yeah, well, if you look back at the old Greek gods,
yeah,
they were.
Yeah, they mistreated the people that worshiped them. Just
both the girls gave love to you, baby.
Oh.
Are you just talking with your brother?
I'm actually live streaming with my brother, but
okay.
I still
Hi,
appreciate
Monster.
Hey, Hossy.
I still appreciate that, you know, friends is friends.
They both wanted me to give their love to you.
Well, next time you talk to them, tell them I took it.
Okay, I will. I promise.
So Cold Iron Skillets made a couple of cool memes of like Shadow and I just sitting at a picnic
Fuck that guy.
eating barbecue.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
What?
You heard. You heard.
But I disallow.
I don't care if you allow it or not. I'm allowed to say fuck that guy if I believe that that guy can get fucked. And I believe that that guy can and should get fucked.
Disallowed.
Dude.
What?
You know, making a couple of funny memes is cool. But sending me shit every day with like shit covering my face and stuff is not.
Well, then tell him.
I've told him, but he don't care. So fuck that guy.
If you tell him, look, no, then he will stop.
I've told him no. And after I told him no, he sent me a meme of me getting grilled by a big burly dude today. So yeah, fuck that guy.
You're the one that said that you just ride with it.
Yeah, I do ride with it once or twice, maybe even 3 times. It's funny, you know.
Like you're being bullied.
But after a while, it just gets old as fuck. Me eating shit and getting fucked by a dude, yeah, I'm not cool with that. One, it's not even possible for me to get rolled out by a dude. I have no ass.
Calm down.
You're not my supervisor.
But you still need to calm down. Okay, Karen?
Hey, you'd be feeling the same way if he was doing it to you. So I don't want to hear no shit.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Well, then explain to him again in more detail that you are not a fan. I don't know, you know.
I just ignored him on Discord.
Oh, geez.
Oh, his shit's muted. I won't see it anymore, and I'm fine with that.
So much drama in the LBC.
There's no drama. I ended the drama. I muted his shit on Discord.
It's kind of hard being the
HOSS.
No, I was thinking we're like the JMES. But somehow, some way, I keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day.
The best rhyme was the one that me and
Maybe
the Bostonian,
because you're not Orthodox. Have you considered that?
the Bostonian kid did.
What?
Me and the kid from DAOC, the kid from Boston.
Oh, fungal.
Yeah, we all like kingdom of KOH is a kingdom that or the guild that pays me just too low down. Hibby's going crazy.
Too low out. Hibby's going crazy. Yeah.
Unmeasurable. So please don't try to mez me.
Yeah. That dude's fighting in UFC competitions now.
Yeah, and fishing a lot. He got him a baby and everything.
Got a kid and a wife.
Yeah, he's doing good.
He fought against some pretty big dude and whipped his ass.
Yeah, he's doing good for himself.
It's so
we've
wild
done that.
because I remember when he's like a 15-year-old punk ass bitch.
Yeah,
And,
we've
like,
done that.
everyone, like, except for me, because I guess my tolerance for that kind of shit's really high. But a lot of people were just like, they didn't like him.
Me and him ran around on DAOC all the time. He was my homie, and he's still my homie. He's a good kid, and he's done good for himself, which makes me feel happy knowing that I maybe had a little bit of influence on his life.
I doubt it. If you did, it was negative, I'm sure.
You know what?
Yeah, I'm just being away with you, man.
You're being away with me. It's like,
You know what you should do?
why you always try to hurt me, dude?
You should realize I'm just effing with you, and you're my brother, and I love you, and I would never
I love you.
actively try to hurt you, and stop being so damn sensitive.
I
Jeez.
love you, and all you do is hurt. What?
Oh my God, you're such a drama queen.
I can't make you love me if you don't.
That's a sad song. Who was that? Bonnie Raitt?
Yeah, but Teddy Swims did it better.
Wow. I finished my top 10 songs, but now I got actually like
Songs or albums?
albums. Now I got to actually write it down and bring it
All
in.
right. Well, you can tell me here.
What?
Tell me.
I can't because I haven't written it down. Well, I wrote it down, but it's on the other computer. But a lot of it you're going to know anyway because you know me. So as soon as you hear it, you're going to be like, yeah. I didn't put them in any particular order because, you know, that's what I always do. It's kind of a cop out because then I don't have to say which ones I think are better than which other ones.
What I'm wondering is Greatest Hits available as that?
I didn't use Greatest Hits because I thought that would be lame.
Cop out?
Yeah, because then you could just be like, my favorite whatever album was their greatest hits, you know? Like, okay, look at Bad Company. I love Bad Company, but if I can't pick 10 from 6, then, you know?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of bands that are like that where like, okay, you know, Tom Petty's greatest hits. Steely Dan's greatest hits.
Yeah, but Tom Petty's best album was Damn the Torpedoes.
That's what I put on my list.
Yeah.
Yep, Tom Petty, Damn the Torpedoes. It is on my list, my good man.
You don't have to live like a refugee.
Don't have to live like... I think, I don't know. No, the one that doesn't have Refugee on it.
Yeah.
The one
I
on my
have that
list
album.
has There Goes My Girl.
Sometimes I get a little
Even the whatever, get lucky sometimes.
Even the Losers.
Yeah, that's my favorite Tom Petty album. It's got like that's the album I said that like I was basing it on how much of a banger is the whole album.
And that is a banger album.
And that album is like every song on it. So, oh, look what I got here. I don't know if you'll recognize him. Let me hold it up. See if you recognize him from your childhood.
What is that? Is that Honey Badger?
No, it's worse than a Honey Badger ever dreamed of being.
What is it?
What could be worse than a Honey Badger and look like that? They chase you through the woods once.
Oh, fucking Wolverines, little bastards.
That's a Wolverine. Little, they're like 50 damn pounds.
Yeah, they're still little fuckers.
Yeah, I had to paint up a Wolverine or two, just, you know.
Wolverines are just Honey Badgers of America.
What album is a banger? Hunger and I were talking about my top 10 list, which I need to make the video of, but I managed to write down the top 10 with a bonus 11 that didn't make the top 10, but was so close that it had to be mentioned.
Honorary mention album, yeah.
But Hunger was saying Tom Petty Damn the Torpedoes, and he started singing Refugee, and I'm like, that wasn't the one I picked. Well, I didn't pick the one with Refugee. I picked the one that had Even the Losers Get Lucky and There Goes My Girl and all that one. So either Hunger is getting the album wrong, and I did put down Damn the Torpedoes, but it has the songs I say. Plus, we both agreed no greatest hits because that's just cheating, honestly. I mean, you know one album, Hunger, that is on my list for sure.
Yeah. And Even the Losers is on Damn the Torpedoes.
So Refugee is not then. Because I don't think Refugees was, I think that was like a whole different album.
Maybe.
Yeah. Even the Losers Get Lucky Sometimes.
No, Refugee is on Damn the Torpedoes, along with Don't Do Me Like That, Even the Losers.
Yeah, Don't Do Me Like That was one of them that I definitely had picked.
Yeah, it's...
You know what was weird? A lot of bands out there that had like 25 albums, and I ended up picking like their first or second album.
Yeah, Refugee is on the same album as Even the Losers.
Okay. So it was Damn the Torpedoes I picked.
Yeah, and that
I
is
wish
just
I had that I wrote it down, but it's on my computer on a Word thing. I need to.
that album is a banger.
And how you doing, Shadow? What's up?
Yeah,
Another
Shadow.
one that was on my list that I don't know if you would think about or not was Dwight Yoakam.
Oh, I love Dwight Yoakam. You know that.
Yeah, it was the album that has In the Pocket of a Clown.
Yeah. See,
But that album had like 6 or 7 number 1 hits too.
yeah, about a quarter. About a quarter. About a quarter of my albums, top 10 albums, would be country.
So yeah, I mean, I would say 4 of mine were, and my bonus album was Hank Williams, like his 16th album, the one that had Country Boy Can Survive.
Yeah, it's like
Hank Williams was hard. Hank Williams Jr. was hard because he had
so many good albums.
10 listed just Hank Williams Jr. Really.
It's like Half Nelson, that Willie Nelson album we used to listen to all the time with all of his duets. Great album. Not my top 10, but it's close.
Yeah,
Johnny Cash, Live at Folsom, is in the top 10. I would say in the top
Johnny Cash
5.
didn't make my top 10.
I'd say Live at Folsom Prison would be in my top 5.
Yeah, he didn't. There are too many albums that I just listen to way more and I enjoy more. Like Steely Dan was definitely go back and do it again. Or the name of the album is Anything for a Thrill.
Yeah. What's crazy? Zeppelin didn't make my top 10.
You know what? No, mine either. That is nuts. But Iron Maiden Power Slave damn sure did.
I don't think I have any
albums. Power Slave has always been, my favorite.
I don't have any hard rock albums on my top 10.
Oh, I thought you were going with Stabbing Westward. That's pretty hard.
Yes. Stabbing Westward, that's more alternative.
No 9 Inch Nails made mine. Yep, Can't Buy a Thrill. No 9 Inch Nails made mine, even though I love 9 Inch Nails. There's just not a single album that I thought.
Yeah, Downward Spiral is a great album, but is it a top 10 worthy album?
For some people it is. For me, it wasn't. Randy Travis, Storms of Life.
Yeah.
Killers is your favorite Maiden album. I hear that a lot from people. They like the fact that it was a lot more like punkish. But nah, Power Slave.
Power Slave is a great album.
For me, Power Slave's just like the shit.
Killers is a great. Maiden has a lot of great albums for like
Well,
metal.
I mean, every
Maiden.
album they have is good. It's just a matter of
Maiden is the best hair metal band.
Shut the fuck up with that. They're not hair metal.
They go, they're hair metal. That's the rule. I didn't make it.
Well, whoever made it's an idiot, okay? Because hair metal is Motley Crue.
Motley Crue, say what you will, they were living a dream for a while.
I'm not saying they weren't, but that is hair metal. Like all of those freaking bitch rock bands that came out. You can even argue that Guns N' Roses was bitch rock. Maiden was never bitch rock, ever.
You want to hear something interesting about Guns N' Roses?
It'd be the first time for me, but go ahead.
All right. David Bowie was dating a woman, black chick, who had a mixed child, who grew up to be Slash from Guns N' Roses, and him and Bowie remained friends his whole life.
So, are you trying to tell me that David Bowie was Slash's dad?
Was not his dad, because the kid was already like 6 years old when Bowie started dating.
Bowie dated Slash's mom.
Lived with him and everything for quite a few years.
Man, okay.
And even after him and Bowie and Slash's mom broke up, they still remained close.
Okay. I didn't know that. And yes, that is incredibly interesting how what a small world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I mean, if I were Slash, I wouldn't complain if David Bowie had been my stepdad.
Yeah, it was like Slash's mom was a costume designer for all these rock bands. So she was very influential with Bowie during his Ziggy Stardust.
Makes sense. Yeah, see, Shadow sides with me about the hair metal controversy. You had I mean, and I'm not saying I hate all hair metal either, by no means, you know?
Now, everybody loves
there's some hair metal that, I mean, Every Rose Has a Thorn is like.
Everybody loves Poison. Nothing but a good time. Every Rose Has its thorn. Something to believe in.
And then Rat. I've rarely met anybody who wasn't like, oh, that Round and Round song kicked ass. And it's like, yeah, it did, really, you know.
I always wanted to see Rat and Poison tour together so I could buy the Rat Poison t-shirt.
I saw Cinderella, and they're definitely a hair metal band.
Yeah.
And they opened for David Lee Roth, who I don't know how you would even classify that guy.
You classify Roth as Ross.
Yeah, you know, he's all like, just a gigolo, and everywhere I go.
Roth is the clown from Metalocalypse. I do cocaine.
Yeah. He's like, seriously, dude, I do a lot of cocaine. People know the price they're paying. Do-wop. But, yeah, Rat, Poison, Cinderella, Bon Jovi, hair metal, or chick rock, or bitch rock, depending on how you want to feel that day.
I call it panty rock because you put that on with a couple of drinks with a chick, and she will take her panties off.
Some of them.
Mm-hmm. Most of them.
No, not most of them, but some of them.
Okay, all the ones that I ever associated with.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know.
I do go after a particular type of loose woman. When I was younger.
I'm not even saying anything. Because I would think if you were looking for some kind of album to put on for the girls you used to date, it would be freaking Too Short.
NWA.
NWA and some, you know, maybe a little bit of Regulate with freaking Warren G and shit.
Outcast.
That is way before Outcast, though. Or maybe their first album, you know, that had the whole world or whatever on it.
Yeah.
But definitely way before, you know, their later. Anyway, not that it matters or anything, but I'm just saying. You were running deep in the streets with the hood music.
Everybody knows it was just R. Kelly trapped in the closet.
Oh man, you know, I listened to that whole thing, and it was actually a good story.
Yes,
it's too bad R. Kelly was like, you know, peeing on 14-year-olds because that whole whatever the hell it was actually kind of good, you know. It starts out with the drop, and he's talking about hiding in this dude's closet, and then the dude comes in and he pulls his pistol out, and they start arguing. He's like, I swear to God, I'm gonna shoot some bitch. And then the next scene, like 2 other people were hooking up, and then the next scene, some other people were hooking up. Like the third scene, they're going to talk to the mafia, and the guy's eating spaghetti. And then, like in the next scene, somebody finds out they got AIDS, and everybody's like gossiping about the fact that they got the AIDS and shit. Except they call it the package. He got that package.
Yeah, it's a weird song.
Yeah, but it you know what? It's kind of like King Diamond's Welcome Home album. where if you listen to all the songs, right, you realize it's one song. And I know right now you're like, King Diamond? The fuck? Right?
Look, I looked at him, he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me. I said, I ain't been truthful with you. I've been
Yeah.
seeing someone else.
Yeah,
And
because
then this other nigga come in, and I found out this nigga was gay.
that's what happened, right? He was banging a preacher's wife, but
Yeah.
the preacher was having sex with a gay dude, and they both had AIDS.
Hey.
Hey, speaking of, my brother.
All right, I'll see you later. Uh-huh.
Hungar's mad at me.
I ain't mad at you. I'm just done with you.
Hey, you're the
Tell
one
him
that
you're mad
said
at him and don't pull a bear.
you're the
I
one that
said-
said you can't offend me.
I said you can't offend me, and 3 or 4 or 5 times is funny, but making it a constant thing just
No.
becomes
I'm building up to something good, man.
redundant. There's nothing building up. Nothing good can come from me eating shit, dude.
No. It's not shit. I'll go ahead and spoil the surprise, okay? It's a big slice of cake where it says censored.
Nothing good can
And
come
the other
from me
one, the one
getting
I just
rebelled
sent,
out.
the one I just sent is you hiking a football. Y'all are on a football field.
Uh-huh.
So he's making him look. Anyway,
I'm making them look ambiguous. Like,
okay, Mr. Skillet, my good man, my brother's feelings are hurt.
oh, I'll prove it to you. I'll send you the actual proofs.
No. I'm not saying you got to prove anything. I'll just be nice. Dave Chappelle's piss on you was hysterical. It was.
Don't be mad at me, Hungar. Please, pretty please. I'll make it up to you.
I'm not mad at you.
I think he's a little upset.
I think he's upset too.
The remix edition of the song about pissing was better. The Dave Chappelle remix of R. Kelly.
That's what he's talking about. This is the remix edition.
No, he did both of them. He did I Want to Piss on You. I Want to Pee on You too.
Pee on you.
Yeah, and then he's like, I don't do this a lot, but this is the remix edition of the song about pissing.
And then you had, of course, the Boondocks.
And I'm sleeping in the same bed with Huey, and I accidentally pee on him in my sleep. Am I going to go to jail?
Yeah, again. What's his name? Riley or whatever?
Yeah, young Reezy.
Yeah, he's like, look, if somebody started peeing, you know what I'd do? I'd get out of the way. It's like, damn. But the guy who made those shows, he was trying to make a point about culture and everything. And
what? The guy who made those shows was a freaking comedic genius.
yeah, well, Al Sharpton and a lot of them hated him.
Yeah, well, he's dead, so who cares?
Right.
No, he's not dead, but Jesse Jackson is, so who cares?
Yeah, they didn't like him because they thought he was showing, everything in such a negative light. But he was just doing his thing, and
He's just showing them how it really was.
well,
Granddad's like, what you mean I don't need help? I live with a thug and a domestic terrorist.
yeah. Good morning to you, Vic. How are you? Morning Reprobates. That sounds like it should be the name of like a daily morning show.
That would be a great name for a podcast.
It'd be like, can you imagine if you just got a bunch of like random average dudes like us and put them around the table like The View and just got it? Good morning with Reprobates. Just, no freaking nothing written on script or anything. Just
no script, just free for all.
Just people going at it, talking about whatever.
I'd be like, damn it, Cold Iron, what's your problem with me?
Man, all right, Hungar, check your fucking Discord messages.
Wow. You guys are showing the love. Or what was
There.
that movie? Vampire in Brooklyn or something. I feel a lot of love in this room.
There you go. Gosh.
I'm painting snakes.
Hungar's chasing snakes.
I'm a
Maybe. Badger.
Mushroom.
Yeah,
It's a snake.
that was written for Dark Age of Camelot.
We know for specifically Hyperborea.
Yeah, Hyboria. But yeah. Was it Hyboria or
Oh,
yeah, it's Hyboria. The land of the brave.
all right.
Because
There,
when they
there we
made Hyboria, it was nothing but freaking badgers and mushrooms everywhere.
You're nothing but badgers and mushrooms everywhere.
Megan Hungar is mad today. Did I make you that mad?
I'm not mad.
Oh,
He
you
wasn't
sound
mad when I
mad.
talked to him earlier.
You sound mad.
I'm not mad, dude.
There's the top of Vic's head. There he is.
Yeah. Morning reprobates. I like the idea of a morning reprobate podcast. You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
I'm saying. Just get on there and go ballistic about shit.
Oh yeah, just you wake up in the morning, got a cup of coffee in front of you, and you just say, "Fuck this shit." These people are idiots, and just name their names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See,
I can agree with that.
Look at all that. Did you see that? Did you see that Me Too vote up in Congress, you guys? All those female representatives didn't want to release the names of all the sexual predators up in Congress, all the Democrats, 47 of them.
the women voted against it?
Yes,
Whoa.
Why?
because they can't do anything with the Republicans. You know what I mean? That's just mean.
Those guys need to pull their heads out of their asses. You know, and I know I've said this before, and I'm not the only one. It is a damn shame that the only Democrat out there who seems to have like any common sense at all is the one that had a stroke.
Fetterman or whatever
Fetterman.
it is. Pennsylvania.
Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
the Democratic Party yelled at him a little bit because he shook hands with the orange man when he came in to give his speech.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
And they had him on like the news, and they're like, "Well, why'd you shake his hand?" And Fetterman's like, "He's the president of the United States." You know, it's like, and apparently he believes that both sides need to start working together a little bit more and stop being assholes.
Well, I don't.
But
You know what? There's such thing as called decorum, and there's such thing as what's the other word I want to call it? Cooperation. I mean, come on. You know what happened? What happened to civilized debate and finding a common ground?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
It
Well,
died.
I've realized recently that I'm not a Democrat, obviously, and I'm not a Republican either. I find.
No, I'm
You know what I am? You know what I am, Hunger?
What's that?
I am a constitutionalist.
I'm a Christian nationalist. I've decided to become more extreme in my religious beliefs.
Yeah, that's a joke. I'm doing it.
It's
Morning
not a joke.
Reprobates. See, that's the show. Morning Reprobates with Shadow.
I think these days I'm more Emperor Hadrian, but just not pagan. So
I'm more King Baldwin.
standing on business.
Yeah.
Yes.
He did defeat 20,000+ Saracen warriors with 500 knights. I mean, Saladin was terrified of that guy.
As he should have been.
In Saladin's own writings, he said Jerusalem will never fall as long as King Baldwin rules. And he was right.
Well, Okay, we start. The thing is about any of us, if we're going to start a morning reprobate show, is one of us needs to not have a job, and I'm the guy in the upper left hand corner is the one we got to look at to start it.
Both guys up top don't have a job.
Might be me too pretty soon. I'm about to quit.
I wish I had a job, but I
I
don't.
can't do the hours anymore, man.
Okay. Somebody just called me a bunch of bitches. Oh, Vic. Okay. Thanks, Vic.
I can call you that.
I open it up and it says from Vic, bitches. Okay.
I heard it. I was there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it. I was like, okay, that shit got real quick, didn't it?
Seen it.
Why are you calling
So-
everybody a bunch of bitches?
Like Vic rolls in and he just starts throwing it down like,
Well,
Man.
I'm so sick of the bullshit. I mean, I went to the diesel fuel pumps this morning, $4.69.9 for fucking diesel. Jesus fucking Christ!
Did
You know what I
have
mean?
too much beef jerky? Is that what it
Yeah.
is? You had too much
Am
beef
I
jerky.
constipated?
Nobody
Are you
Yeah.
can
trying to
afford
say
to
I'm
eat beef
constipated?
jerky.
four.
Nobody can afford beef jerky. That shit's too expensive
Yeah,
anymore.
4 and change for diesel is really crappy. Like
Well-
down here, we almost got it down to like just under $3, but now it's going up again. And I always tell people, I'm like, the price of diesel is going to affect the price of everything.
Right. I paid $270 something here in Minnesota a few weeks ago, and now it's, now we're gonna double it again. Hey, asshole.
Hey, asshole.
Oh,
Hello,
It's-
Janet.
Hi,
I'm sorry
Janet.
you walked into that.
Yeah. I'm in a rare mood today. I'm ready to cuss out anybody who wants to really start the shit.
All right. Well, I suggest you start with Timmy
I can take it.
because he won't know what to do anyway.
Hi, Timmy.
oh
Hey.
my God.
Hey, Hungar.
innocent little tiny Tim over there, right?
Cuss him out for hating on my memes.
He's got his little ukulele.
Well, he's just living out on the farm in the middle of the woods, being a good guy.
Yep. Innocent tiny Tim over there.
He don't know about much of anything.
He's only
Like-
a boy.
Bad. He knows about good things. And his favorite person is his pawpaw. And that's respectable. So there you go. So Tim, do you got any weird shit that you guys do on your side of the state to protect yourself from witches or anything?
No, not
See?
really.
Sometimes I think that Kentucky ends where the hills do. It's like, so you guys don't ever carry like a little piece of rusted iron, or don't gotta be rusted, but iron, like an old nail or something when you go into the woods?
The only iron we carry is a big iron.
Well, of course. Do you make sure to draw all the curtains closed at night before you go to bed to keep witches from being
I thought
able
iron
to
was
cast spells on you?
wasn't iron the wording against fairy magic, fairy folk, or something like that?
Don't worry about it.
Well, here's the thing. We do draw our curtains, but that's for just more privacy than anything.
Yeah, we do it because we believe that a witch can see you through the window while you're asleep and curse you and you would die.
Well, I mean, they could see you through the window if you kept your curtains open.
Right. But if they can't see you, then they can't curse you. And they can't curse you during the daytime.
What if you're into people watching, hypothetically?
Well, if the legends are true, if one of these witches curses you, you will just wither up and die.
Oh,
The best Wiccan repellent, offer them a job or a shower. Wow.
Not wrong.
I mean,
That's
Well, if you
That's
found a witch's house, why don't you just send the meth heads over there telling them that she's got money?
Because they would, if they're Kentucky meth heads and they live in the area and they are familiar, they're not going over there.
Yeah, well,
Like if you're in Harlan County and you get in the hollers down to like Batham, Kentucky, that's where all the Satanists live. There's like close to 300 of them there. They got a church and everything. Like it's a whole town just full of Satanists. They get in trouble every
Good.
now and then for being accused of human sacrifice and stuff like that.
good for them.
Yeah. Well, it's a weird place. That's why I started wanting to write Call of Cthulhu adventures, all based in like Eastern Kentucky.
You should.
You know, Appalachia too, because I'll throw West Virginia and North Carolina and Tennessee in there too. You know,
There was a website back in the day. I believe it was like the stars are right something dot something that was a peer website, like a forum where people put a lot of independent mods and stuff, and there was a lot of Appalachia stuff about local like cryptids and stuff. But
Yeah.
it was for Call of Cthulhu D20 when that was popular. It had like just come out.
right?
I tell you what about Appalachia. There's some corners back in there that I swear that are deeper than the Rocky Mountains. That you could probably get lost back in Appalachia easier than you could in the Rockies. So
Me and James can attest to that since how we grew up there.
Yeah. I've been up in the mountains a few times. It's
Yeah,
not like
didn't
I've never
one of
been.
your grandparents live up there near Hazard or something?
You're talking about me because I
yeah.
don't know. I
thought you said you had some grandparents that lived up in the mountains somewhere.
I might have had a granddad, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He was pretty far off, so I mean, I was very young when we went to visit him. I don't remember much about it.
Right.
That's James. Have you ever seen like the videos of Appalachian Orthodoxy?
Yeah.
That is some wild business.
You know, the
whoa.
largest growing congregation for Orthodox in America right now is in Georgia.
I could believe it.
We've
I
got
can
a
believe
church. I've got an Russian Orthodox church half a hour away from me, right where I live here in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's spreading quick because people are getting sick and tired of the weak Christians.
Yeah.
Oh man, my dad doesn't like Orthodox for some reason.
Well, you know.
They try to say that they're okay with the gay stuff. I'm like, no, they don't. No, they don't.
Whoa. No, gosh.
Your dad is a little mistaken.
Yes, a lot mistaken.
But, you know, he might be mistaken them for, I don't know, some other group.
Probably.
Maybe Anglicans. You know, the Church of England got into all that crap.
Yeah,
not too long ago.
Any church that has a modern service is not a real church.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I see these churches out here, and you got some really extremes, and then you have those modern services like Hungar says. What's that? Joel Osteen and these other fucking crooks that have, you know.
You got Joel Osteen, John Hagee, false prophet.
John Hagee is the one that I most dislike because I think he's the most dangerous as far as, you know, the heresies he preaches. But
he was kind of a fixture amongst my grandparents for a while, and it was like anytime I brought up, that 2014 blood moon prophecy really had Israel laughing the fuck out of us. Like, come on now. Like, you just keep buying the books and not shit's happening. They're painting heifers red and you're buying into this like Darby and it's absolutely frustrating. This Schofield nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
but
I
making Call of Cthulhu adventure set in the Appalachians would be.
That would be cool. I'd want to play that.
And the one good reason why it would be a great setting is because the Appalachian Mountains are, if the geologists and all those assholes are correct, is the oldest mountain range on the planet Earth. Like back when Pangea was a thing, if you believe in any
Like
of that.
Pangea or something, like the supercontinent thing.
Yeah, Appalachia was then. And it's also older, according to these scientists. Appalachia is also older than the rings around Saturn. So you're talking about a mountain range that's early, if they're right, is billions of years old. So do you hear me, House? Because that's
I
the
hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
so okay, it's just Vic and Cold Iron that might be. So yeah, it's just so if you're talking about ancient creatures drifting down or dripping down from the stars into a mountain area, I mean, if they dripped down a billion years ago, well, that's why I like the Rocky Mountains and the ones in the Himalayas. That's the ones, right? The
Mhm.
reason they're so tall and jagged and pointy is because they're new.
Yeah, they've not been around long enough to get worn down.
But the Appalachian has been around so long that it's actually been, what Ungar said, and so, and there's pretty much not too many cryptids you can think of that somebody in Appalachia hasn't mentioned. Like I watched a show the other night where these guys who may or may not have been all high on crack, I don't know, but they were talking about the difference between the hairy man and the big, which is just basically Kentucky's version of Bigfoot, and dogmen, which also have been spotted heavily in the eastern Kentucky Appalachian region. And they were going on about, like dogmen apparently are aggressive and they want to eat you. Bigfoot, it depends. Like the Cherokee guys, they sometimes they said that they'd have to war with the hairy man, but other times they said when their tribe was starving, the hairy man would like throw like a dead deer carcass into the camp. So that one's a little weird, it could go a lot of
Either way.
different places. But dogmen are always bad, never good. Like, and all these native tribes had like legends of them, and not a single one of them ever spoke anything positive about them ever. You know what I mean? They were always the assholes of every story that they were in. And sometimes, most of the time, the majority of the time, they solo hunt, but occasionally they'll run in groups. Just depends. And there are people who have taken pictures and they swear up and down the pictures they've taken are of dogman nests, like way in the backwoods, because they'll dig like a little hole like a dog will, but then they'll like pile brush over it, like in a lean-to over a hole. And people have taken pictures of these holes, which could in fact be 100% fake, but like in the holes, there's like, half-eaten deer carcasses and, stuff like that. And in one of the stories, a guy was out hunting at night and his dogs got attacked by a raccoon, or they treat a raccoon, and then the dogs got attacked by a bunch of coyotes. And then he heard one of the dogs, he thought, on the other side of the trees. And when he ran around there, it was, he said, the hugest dog he'd ever seen. And it had a whole coyote like in the midsection in its mouth. And it was a dog man, because when he was looking at it, it stood up. And that's when he said he took off running.
He's like,
One of his coon dogs did not make it, but the other one they found on the highway, tore the shit up, but they managed to nurse him back to health.
Yeah, that's a nope out situation.
Yeah, according to his story, that dog continued to hunt, but it was never the same. Like it was a lot more skittish from there on out, but it'd still go out and hunt because it loved to hunt because it's coon dog. That's what they do. But it like the fact that it had seen the dog man, it was like, yeah, F this shit. You know what I mean? But see, me, I've never seen a dog man. I know Haas and I went deep up in a cave once and found like a bunch of dried bones in there, but they were like vermin bones and stuff. They weren't like human bones. But
We hope.
we hope, yeah. I mean, but how they got so far back into a cave, like did they go back there and get lost and die or
We're lucky we didn't end up there with them.
yeah, that was a dangerous run, that one.
Maybe something drug him back there, ate it.
Yeah, could be. And Hungar and I were in this cave, and we hadn't told anyone we were going in the cave, and we were both in our early teens.
We
And
didn't
for
tell
about
anybody.
the first 100
Anybody.
yards of the cave, you had to slide on your belly.
We didn't
because-
tell anybody where we were going. We just got up and left into the
Yeah, we
woods.
got up and left, and then we ended up at this cave, and we're like, let's check it out. And like I said, the between the floor and the roof was maybe 2 feet. So we had to actually, crawl on our bellies.
Yeah,
all
we
the way
did some
back
stupid
into this
shit.
cave until we got to an area where it was a little better, and we could stand up, but not even stand up. It was like duck walking the whole way,
We
And
weren't the brightest crayon in the box growing up.
No, surprising that I joined the Army instead of the Marines.
Surprising we lived long enough to do any of that shit.
Yeah, when we got back there, and there was this like chamber, and it was like pretty tall, so we could basically stand in the chamber, and there were just like piles of bones that something had drugged back in there. Honestly, it could just been a weasel, because but something had drug a bunch of bones back in that chamber of that cave and had them all in there, and we decided to get the hell out of there because we're starting to get a little oxygen deprived. I would say we were probably a mile at least deep into that system.
Hey, James, you know how you were talking about Call of Cthulhu, right?
Yes,
I got some ideas here for you.
I'm
The
sure.
Phantom Hearse on Sleepy Hollow Road in Prospect, where drivers report a black hearse appearing from nowhere, attempting to force them off the road into a ravine.
Okay, that's a cool idea. What is it though?
Basically, it's a bit of a Kentucky folklore. It happened.
No. I mean, in regards to the mythos, what is it?
Oh. I do not know. Is there ghosts in Call of Cthulhu?
There are definitely spirits and things from other places. Yeah.
I'm going to bounce out.
Yep. See ya,
Oh,
Hungar.
we lost Cold Iron that time. And
I'm
Yeah,
going to take a
see-
nap.
okay, that's
Love you.
that's the whole thing is like the first part is what is the weird thing, right?
Yep.
And then the second part is, and how does it fit in with the mythos?
Yeah, you probably could find some way of fitting it in. I'm not really sure.
Oh,
I'm not that
100%.
creative.
It's just a matter of thinking about it.
All right, brother. I love you.
Love you too.
I'm just wanting to mention some really crazy Kentucky folklore that I found.
Yeah, it's like dogmen could be either something that's always been here, or they could be something created by a lab or
Or some kind of creature made by
some
those
kind of thing.
things. Here's one that's well known. The Popelick monster, or Goat Man, half goat, half human creature, said to live under Norfolk Southern Railway,
and
Trestle, and
will kill you
Richardville.
too. Yeah, it said he'll push you off the bridge.
Lures people in with childlike voice before attacking them.
Well, that is a common Eastern Kentucky thing right there. The whole, if you hear a child crying out in the woods, you do not investigate it because it's not a child.
I think this is the one that you were talking about, the Hillbilly Beast, a Bigfoot-like creature from Daniel Boone's era.
Yep. The Cherokee called him the hairy man. Hey George, how you doing, bro? And depending on which Cherokee chief you talk to, the hairy man could be a relatively reasonable creature, or could try and murder your ass just every time it caught you. It just really depends on what mood it's in on which particular day.
Now,
And that's according to Cherokee. There's been like reports, I don't, no evidence really, but actual reports of like in one particular report, these parents left the kids home and they were doing something outside and they saw something moving in the woods. So they ran in a house. And according to everyone involved, a hairy man almost tore the trailer apart.
oof.
And their stepdad was a member of the Cherokee tribe. So he told them what it was and they moved.
Don't blame them.
It's okay, Cold Iron. It's okay. I'm sorry for that too. So yeah, I don't blame him at all. But he had always told his boys, they're stepkids, but he claimed them, so that counts.
Yeah.
He'd always told them not to be out in the woods and stuff, right? And the day that his parents left to go do something, that's the day they decided to go exploring. And
I'll look at it this way. You know they were going to. Kids are going to want to explore.
And and they basically pissed off. According to the story, they just really pissed off a hairy man, and it decided to chase them back to their house. And when they ran in the house, they said they turned all the lights out, and they could hear this thing just banging on the side of the trailer, and the whole trailer was shaking.
That would be terrifying.
You hear a child crying in the woods, you're investigating. Couldn't live with, yeah. See, Shadow, that's why if this were a Call of Cthulhu game or just Eastern Kentucky, you'd be re-rolling a character.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah. Unless somebody says to you, there's a missing child in the woods, we need to go find it.
Don't
No.
go into the woods.
Don't. Now, if somebody's got a missing kid, obviously you go out and you try and find it. This is a different situation. This is you walking, maybe alone, in the deep Appalachian and hearing a baby crying off trail. And that is something, whether it's a rake or whatever it could be, trying to tempt your ass out into the brush so that it can kill and eat you.
Look, if I hear a goat scream, it sometimes could sound like a human. I know that there could be other things that are far more dangerous that can do the similar things.
And another thing too is if you're walking through the woods and you hear someone say your name, you completely ignore it.
If I hear somebody say
keep
my
on
name, I'm
stepping.
definitely ignoring it. Nope, not gonna.
But a lot of these are you're in the woods alone.
Yep.
You're walking through the forest alone and you hear some shit and you have to ask yourself, it's like, what did you hear? What's up, William? Like, of course, every human being's first response if they heard a baby crying in the woods would be to run to it. That's every human's first wish, right? So if you're a creature that likes to eat humans, what do?
imitate that sound. So they
Yeah, just hang
communicate.
out and imitate that sound. Somebody's going to run out there, and then you can just snatch them up. And if they snatch your ass up in the middle of frickin' Harlan County in the forest there, no one's ever going to find you. You know, sorry about your luck, you know. It's just never going to happen. So that's why like 40 plus people vanish off the Appalachian Trail every year. Like every year, people vanish. And the other place people vanish around a lot is Mammoth Cave, the Mammoth Cave region.
Yeah,
People vanish
Mammoth.
there all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. A lot of missing people cases there. Who knows
Yep.
why?
Now, it could be something so horrifying and simple as a serial killer
Yeah.
that just likes to live out in the middle of the wilderness and gank people when he can catch them, and then throw their bodies down a chimney into a chamber, you know, a mile underground. Who knows? But there's a lot of stories, you know.
Yep.
Creeping and peeping. Yeah. Well, yeah, too much time in the woods. You're in Minnesota, though. That's not the woods.
Yeah.
I mean, that might as well be a playground.
For people like around here, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
for
nothing.
for Appalachia, Appalachia is a place where literally just walking through the woods you could die.
Yeah, and in the flatlands, it's much similar. I mean, there are a lot of dangerous places around here.
Yeah, because you know people think caves always start out like parallel to the ground, but
Nope.
in reality, sometimes they go directly straight down.
Yep.
And if you're not paying attention and you're walking through the forest, and a cave can be covered up with dry branches, some leaves, and if you step on that shit, you're done. I know you have woods. I know Minnesota's forested like a taiga, but I'm telling you, there's a difference. If Haas hadn't went to mope because of Iron Skillet posting jokes at him, Haas could tell you he's been in the woods in Minnesota. He's been in North Dakota, been in Alaska. And let me tell you something, it's different. Got a laptop. Nice. Tabletop RPG generators. I have a great one, William, for Call of Cthulhu. That's basically the only one I got on my computer, but it will make 7th edition Call of Cthulhu characters like you wouldn't even believe. It's just super good.
Yeah, I'd seen one website that did it really good, but I cannot remember the name of it.
The website I'm thinking of is I think called Dole Hole, and it's DHOLE Hole. Yeah, we got mountain lions. We got mountain lions in Kentucky. We got mountain lions in Florida, man. You can be driving down you know, one of our roads here and see a mountain lion standing on the side of the damn road. And then in Kentucky, coyotes, which are generally okay, but if they get too many numbers and too hungry, they might take you out. If they think they can get away with it, they'll definitely try and eat your dogs and cats for sure.
Oh wow, you helped me find the website I was thinking of. Thanks.
The only animal that I'm familiar with that a bunch of coyotes will not try to take out is a freaking donkey.
Yep.
Donkeys will curb stomp the shit out of any canine predator you can think of. A donkey will just curb stomp its ass, send it to the next life. They have donkeys just have no patience for that shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's why I always tell people, you know, everyone in Kentucky near where I live, they all got these Great Pyrenees, and you know, these dogs they traded for or spent $1,000 for something. I'm like, you know, you can get a donkey for like $200, right? Chuck it in the pen with the goats and the sheep and all that other stuff, and there's nothing on the planet that will get in there, because that donkey will get possessive, and any predatory animal that jumps in that pen will get its brains kicked in. And because donkeys are, prey animals, but they're weird. They're animals that other animals eat, but they're on an attack first, ask questions later kind of schedule. So the hardest
Donkeys may be prey, but they choose violence
they choose violence every time.
every time.
And see, you got peat bogs. Yeah, that's no bueno right there.
Yep.
Dick. That's respectable. Yeah, donkey will choose violence every time. And then the hardest part about even owning a donkey is training it not to kill your dogs. What's up, Shadow? How you
Yeah.
doing?
Hey, what's happening, gents?
Because
Not
if
when
you
I
don't train the donkey to recognize that your dog is your dog, they're automatic. Just their brain says, "Oh, it looks like a canine." Stomp its head.
You have to basically have the donkey as like a fowl and raise it with the dog.
Yeah, let it know. If you let it know, I mean, it still won't like it, but it won't kill it.
Yeah.
And a donkey will bite a coyote on the back of their neck and just break their freaking necks. They can pick a coyote up in their mouth and just swing it around until its neck breaks. They are nuts. But they love people. I mean, if you own a donkey, it's like the best pet ever. You can run up to the fence, he'll come running up, want you to scratch it between its ears and hug it. But if it looks like a dog, boy, that thing is on it sets
Borrowed
violence to 11. You know what I'm saying? But have you got your concrete work done?
You can probably hear the guys they're working now. They'll have most of the plumbing done today, or so they say, and then we'll see what happens.
Hopefully it goes well for you.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, the hardest part is the fact that they had to cut up the concrete. I mean, fixing PVC.
No, they didn't.
They didn't?
We're having all the pipes rerouted through the house and above ground, so that won't ever happen again. Because, we've
I know
got
what you're talking about.
We've got really expensive Italian marble tile all downstairs, and most of it is no longer available. We've got a few extra, tiles for emergencies, but the last time, it was
So
just
they're just going to reroute the PVC to connect with the PVC on the interior walls that leads to the stuff.
no. Actually, everything's being replaced with copper.
Oh, copper! Look at you, big money man.
Yeah.
Just hide it so the meth heads don't steal it. You'll be fine.
I live in a really quiet, nice, peaceful area. I'll give you an example. About a half a dozen different times, including a couple, like a week ago, we've left our garage door open, and my garage is full of big, giant. I've got like almost 50 27-gallon plastic totes full of game shit, all stacked neat and everything. And people could have just walked up and just started shoveling them into their truck, and nobody touched the thing. But that leads me to this. When that happened last time, it was like a week and a half ago or something. My wife gets up at 4:30 in the morning, leaves 5:30 in the morning. I wake up at 7:30 to get the boy off to school. My wife wakes me up at 5:30 in the morning, telling me Jackie left the garage door open all night. And I'm like, and you needed to wake me up to tell me that? Does that make any sense? She could have just pushed the button and went about her day. But no, she had to wake me up to tell me this useless information that I couldn't do anything about.
How long you been married, Shadow?
20th anniversary, 20 or 21st anniversary this month.
So you're not used to this yet?
It's not that I'm not used to it. It's I've got no tolerance for freaking stupid shit. If it takes longer to tell me about a problem than to fix a problem, you're the problem.
Look here, brother. You need to calm down. It's not going to change. And if you've made 20 years, you might as well just settle in and realize it's just that's how it's going to be, man. You know,
But I mean, how fucking irrational and retarded is that?
there's no
You know what I mean?
rationality to be found here.
Yeah, well, I demand it, and
Yeah, demand all you want. What you will get is emotion, and if you're lucky, maybe positive emotion, but you're not going to get logic, and you're not going to find rationality. But that's why we love them, ain't it? I guess it is.
no. I would. The reason I can't mention on your show, maybe I will on Morning Reprobates, but I can't mention why I personally love women. So
Well, I'm pretty sure we could all figure it out.
mhm.
But anyway, we don't need to get dirty. The reason I said what I said, Shadow, and I know you're older than I am by a little bit, but not much. My wife does the same thing all the time. Like literally all the time. She will tell me about every single little thing she does. You know, somebody left something out and I had to pick it up and put it in trash. And I'll be like, okay. That's my answer for everything. Honestly. I don't even look up anymore. I'm just like, all right. You know, okay, good job.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not worth getting nasty, like to yourself. It's not worth being pissy about. And I'm telling you, it's not going to change. Not even if you traded her in for like a younger model, it's still going to be the same. So, you know,
well, see, I figured it out. What I need to do is, if I ever do trade for a younger model, I'm gonna make sure we don't speak the same language and at all, and maybe she don't even speak.
right? She'll find a way to let
right. Because I got no patience, man, for that dumb shit. It's like, I mean, how would it be if we did the same freaking thing? They'd leave our ass in a minute.
That's the beauty of, you know, the fact that some of us are men and some of us are women.
Oh no, I
We're
totally
not
get
the
it, William. But see, I got this thing called a dog that can hear a squirrel, 80 yards away, chittering away, and he will, you
You
know.
can hear a squirrel trying to hide in a tree 200 yards off.
No, for the most part, Vic, I get exactly what I want.
Shadow's delusional. I don't think he's delusional. I just think that, you know,
He's fed up, is what it is. I'll be 59 this next month, just like you, James, and I just don't have time for the dumb shit. It's like, what do you think that's going to accomplish?
I'll be
What do you want? What's my reaction supposed to be? Should I go run up and wake him up too? Jack, you left the door open.
No, you do what I do. When she tells you that, you say, okay, and then you go back to sleep.
Yeah, that's the problem. Once I wake up, I'm up, and there ain't no reason for me to be up at 5:30 in the morning unless, well,
the second thing I sometimes do when that happens then is jump up and just like whip it out and shake it at her.
Yeah, I could do that.
There you go. I mean, and they'll learn to either get down with it or avoid waking you up too early.
Yeah,
I mean, there's positive and negative reinforcement of behavior, so do what you got to do. Or they'll laugh at you. That happens too. Sometimes they laugh and call you a goofball. But no, I'm telling you, the secret literally is listen and just say, okay. And then go back to thinking about D&D or something.
But she don't learn anything that way.
You are never going to teach her.
No, I've taught her all kinds of stuff. Believe you me.
Yeah, there's things you can teach and things you can't teach. And you're entering that region of ingrained hardware and you can't do nothing with that. like firmware and software, you might be able to do some stuff, right? But the hardware, it's going to be that way. and what you're describing, that is just a hardware issue. You and I suffer the same thing, and we're literally on the opposite
We
side.
don't tolerate idiots.
No. I mean, what happened with you? I
Yeah.
suffer that too. And we're on the opposite sides of the planet, practically. And you're married to a Mexican woman, and I'm married to a Northern European Dane. And yet the behavior is the same. The having to tell you every little thing instead of just hit and switch.
And people wonder why we make sex robots.
Yeah, the joke was that the Japanese have made a one that's super realistic, and for $175,000 you can buy it. But if you want the upgraded package, $185,000, it doesn't speak.
Yep.
I thought that was funny. You're being all serious.
No, I think that's genius marketing, and when they can cook without burning the house down, let me know.
Yeah.
No, I have actually been monitoring that particular weirdness.
The Japanese are weird.
I'm telling you, if they ever, and this is their biggest, like most top secret, thing they're working on is the artificial womb.
Yeah.
The women will have signed their own death warrants, or at least consign themselves to spinsterhood.
I'm sure somebody will still marry him. I mean, I'd still marry my wife.
Well, yeah, like 2 generations later, when they've all been, conditioned to, things.
It would probably totally change a lot of behaviors, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they realize that, wait a minute, he does not actually have to put up with my shit.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the big thing for me is I've seen so many of my friends lose everything they own because a woman just changed her freaking mind, or was no longer happy. Like that's a guarantee in any sort of life. The most rich and famous people in the world are some of the most miserable. Look at Gates and others, absolutely freaking miserable. And you would think with that kind of money, you'd be happy as a clam 24/7. Making the entire world sick of watching you celebrate your success. But that is just not the case. And the idea of the no fault divorce and all of the divorce laws and child support laws and things like that have damn near destroyed Western civilization.
Well, I can promise you this then, Shadow. When I become the first czar of all of the United States, the imperial United States, I'll change all that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I agree with you.
It's wrong. It's
the worst thing I think we've done in a long time is the no fault thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not.
It's just not right. I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot, which they can't contemplate, how quick that would have never
happening. It's happening now because so many women are becoming like the breadwinners.
Yeah, but the judges are still
to divorce their husband. They end up having to pay their husband.
Well, if you look into how the percentage of women judges versus male judges, especially in that regards, you'll also see that has the ability to never change and only become worse.
I all I know is that I watched a show the other day and some chick left her husband and ended up having to pay him alimony for like 10 years.
It can happen, but it's not common.
No, right. It's absolutely
Like
Rarer
I
than
don't
him,
understand. I seen this similar thing where this one woman took her husband to court. She didn't have the kid. He was raising the kid, but still paying child support to her.
Yep.
And the
Mhm.
female judge even went, "You're making him pay? That doesn't make any sense. No, now you're paying."
Yeah.
Well, that meme I posted about the most Florida man on the planet, one of the things it said is he's raising his children and yet he pays child support.
Yeah, I saw that one too. It should
You
be
know
50
what?
50.
When
50,
I got
period.
custody of my youngest daughter, she was 13 years old. I paid child support until she was 18.
Yeah, that's just evil.
It was like by the time all the arguing got done by all the lawyers and everyone involved, that was the deal. I got full custody, but I still had to pay like $300 a month or something. And I signed that shit with a grin because I was like, because I loved my daughter and I didn't give a shit about the money. I would have paid anything to get her out of that house because her mom's an evil bitch.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's kind of how
I knew of a situation where a guy had full custody of 6 plus 1 that wasn't his, and he was still paying.
Yeah, see, in my case, it wasn't that the judge forced me to out of some sort of evilness. That was just the deal that we came to so that things could legally be away. You know? And yeah, it sucks.
That's
But
no kind of justice.
basically I was paying what do you call
Extortion?
that? No, I was going to say more like when you pay for a hostage.
Hostage negotiation, ransom.
Yeah, I was basically ransoming my daughter out of that evil bitch's control so that she could live with me and my wife and have a good life. And while she still may have some problems that were brought about by the trauma of her real mother, thankfully, I shouldn't say real mother, I should say biological birthing whore. My actual wife managed to straighten her out a little bit, and now she's like doing great at her work, hard worker, married a really, really nice boy, got a couple of kids, their own house. So she went from being a real wreck because of her mom to actually becoming like a very respectable lady. And
I'm glad to hear that.
well, it wasn't me.
Yeah. Well, we need more of those kind of, once upon a time, the news actually reported what they used to call feel good stories, but then they realized that don't make no money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I wish I could take credit for it, but really it was my wife working with her a lot. Because
good on her. Sounds like you got a
well,
winner.
I mean, I'm a guy, and if some girl comes up to me whining about some shit, a lot of times I'm just like, what? I don't understand things, you know what I mean, that are definitely female stuff. But my wife has a degree in psychology. So she was like, hey, how you doing, bro? What's up? And
Hey, what's up, Angel? Good to see you again this morning. That's what my degree in college was as well.
Psych degree?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I want to piss her off, I call it a soft science and say that's not real.
Oh no, it's real. It's just you got to weed through the bullshit, and you've got to. Well,
like I said, Shadow, when I want to piss her off.
Yeah. Well, I would think that that's really not that difficult. Just mention her weight.
I piss her off a couple of times a week, just to keep her on her toes. I think
a week. Those are rookie numbers. You got to rack that up to daily.
No, you got to walk that fine line where I am. You got to spread it out. Otherwise, you end up getting like murdered in your sleep. So, there's a razor's edge that we're walking here. But, and then she'll be like, why do you piss me off? And I say, because it excites you and you're not bored. And she's like, meh, stomps off. But yeah, she did right by my daughter, and for that I will forever be grateful. And my daughter hopefully will be too. Well, I know my daughter will be because my daughter calls her mom and does not even speak to the whore that I, birthed her. So yeah, things are pretty good.
So what are you working on this
I
morning?
got a little box here. I need to put some stuff in it and mail it to frickin' Cold Iron Skillet. I'm not sure
You
what
know,
to put in it though.
oh well, I would start with a sack of crap.
A second.
I'm kidding, man. That's illegal.
Is it?
I actually
I guess it would be, right? Biohazard?
yeah. I mean, unless you're in the military, then you can do it.
No. I just have been giving away miniatures, and he hit me up and said, if you got any, give them to me. But the problem is, I have so many different kinds of miniatures. That's like,
Calvin
okay.
Moody sent me. He just sent me 7 of these kick-ass old school lead giants. I don't know if they're. I think they're lead because the
Yeah,
Kenway
you said you had like a stone giant and
and I'll be showing them off, and I'm going to be sending him some stuff. But I'm also getting ready to do my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, where I'm going to be giving away about $1,000 to $1,500 worth of stuff that I've been acquiring specifically for that day. But I
Right.
can't get all these people lined up. I got George and Dave from Emperor's Choice, Matt from Barrels and Borderlands, my son and me all got to be there just so we can do it the way we did back when Jackie was more
online.
into the channel. Yeah, not so busy and whatnot. And it's just been like we've been putting it off for like 2 months, and as that happens, more stuff gets added to the pile.
What happens with me is I have a big pile of stuff I don't even want.
Oh, see, I want everything.
And
I own.
sometimes it's like I just throw it in a box and send it to somebody. And I do ship UPS
Why?
because I like to be able to track it and insure it and whatever.
USPS does all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I refuse
UPS
to
is
use.
faster.
USPS kind of sucks though. Heck, they
No,
barely ever get to me.
No. Here's the trick, guys, for everybody out there. If you want your item to arrive, you ship it in one of the flat rate priority boxes. They're free boxes. They come with built-in insurance up to a certain amount, depending on the size of the box. It will, if it fits in the box, it ships. It doesn't matter weight. It'll be there in 2 or 3 days. Tracking number, and the biggest box that they do is like $25. It's about yay big, bigger than a bread box kind of thing.
So could I go there and like buy some of these boxes and then just put them in my mailbox outgoing?
Here's the thing: if you've got a printer and you set it up with USPS and the flat rate boxes, the red, white, and blue boxes, they're white with red and blue print on them.
I've seen them.
They're free boxes. Not only that, you can go to USPS.com and order them, and they will deliver you a stack of free boxes. You can schedule a pickup. They will pick it up, scan it right there, take it to whoever you want it. And if you print your own label, it'll be like $22, $24 for the biggest box, and they'll be happy to do it, and it'll get their tracking insurance. You can even add insurance to it. And because it's priority, it will get there as fast as humanly possible. And I absolutely freaking despise FedEx, UPS, etc. Because anytime I have ever gone into one of their buildings to ship a box, it's been 2 to 3 times the price for them to take my box and ship it.
Maybe somebody needs to tell United States Postal Service to cut you a little break off of something, because you're selling me on it.
I've been using them for 20 plus years on eBay. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're
even the little,
definitely selling me on it.
just go to USPS.com, take a little look around. Not only that, I'll actually order like a crap ton of the big boxes and use them to store my shit. You know what I mean? When I need boxes, and just wait until I'm ready to ship and grab one of those boxes and off it goes.
Well, then I think I will be checking that out.
You'll save a crap ton of money. Even the little, they have these the small flat rate boxes. They're about the size of a VHS cassette. It'll be like $10 to ship it with $50 insurance, and they'll pick that little tiny box up from your house. No
Okay.
freaking.
Do they got a box about like this big? Damn it!
I can barely see the box, bro.
I know, like this big.
Kind
Say
of, maybe a
5
little.
inch by 5 inch.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Then I guess I'll unpack these miniatures from this box and just order one in and ship that.
Mhm.
All right. I'm going to go with what you say because it sounds smarter.
It really is, and it's just like here's the thing: UPS and FedEx exist mostly because of contracts through businesses where they basically come to your store every day to see if you have packages,
Mm-hmm.
and thus you get a better shipping rate. But the average Joe Schmo like us who just walks in and wants to ship something, I mean, you could literally walk it there cheaper. It seems it's insane the prices they charge for just what the post office can do cheaper. And don't ever go to those little mom and pop postal annexes that like look like a post office, but it's not a post office, because those people are scumbags.
Okay.
Every time I've ever used a postal annex, it'll look like a post office. It'll have some what do you call it, like post office boxes, but everything else is like, not government looking. It's all personalized and looks
Well, I
Yeah.
have an actual, post office not far
well
from
there.
me.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue with the local post office is more with the people who work there than anything, actually.
You know what? Here's the thing: if you go to your local post office enough, and you like have little conversations with your postal worker, and you make them know how happy you are that they're doing the job, subtly. You don't have to kiss their ass or anything. I'm on first name basis with 3 out of the 5 postal workers at my post office. I walk in, hey Jerry, what's happening? Totally different experience.
Maybe
I
I
I
don't
mean,
say
know.
don't listen to him, Leth. Go into the post office and just start cursing them out.
yeah, don't do
That
that.
made that worse.
Your
And
your,
then
your
eventually
box.
one of them shows up at the house with like a bunch of guns and shit. And you're just like, that guy's going.
Vic,
toast.
are you using the priority boxes?
I never ship anything out, so it's not like it's on my end that I get to choose.
Well,
It's just that, like,
I've
people who
never
deliver
used
to me
FedEx.
use USPS, and half the time they'll just say, "Oh, couldn't deliver. There's debris or something in the way," and it's like it's an open road, completely open.
That's weird, Death Angel. I've been at the same place for 15 years, and even when they switch postal carriers, I make sure I thank them, I say hi to them, I talk to them, the whole bit, and it makes a world of difference. And that literally goes with like any establishment you go to. I go to my local Carl's Jr. I walk in, say the usual. They already know what I want. All kinds of things like that. There's another place, Charlie's. I walk in, and I always get the same thing: bacon, chili, cheese fries. Well done. I walk in, the cutie behind the counter. It's like, hi, like, what do you want? Usual. And she's like, oh, I remember. Um, it, People don't do that kind of stuff anymore. Like get to know the people that they actually come in contact with when they're behind like a register or some sort of service job.
Yeah, but here's the
Um,
problem, Shadow.
Hmm.
You're over there operating on pretty privilege. The rest of us don't got that.
Not to mention here in Litchfield, a lot of our service people
I,
always
I,
get
I'm not.
rotated
I'm
out.
not
You
gonna.
never get that familiarity.
You know what? I
Shadow
wouldn't know.
walks into that Charlie's for his freaking chili fries or whatever the hell he's talking about, and that makes that little girl behind the counter's whole day. She's been sitting there all freaking day hoping to see Shadow. If I walk my goofy ass in there, she's just gonna be like, "Look at this fucking goofy bastard."
Dude. I don't know, because I mean, seriously, she is freaking gorgeous, and why she's schlepping behind that? I'm guessing she's a meth head, but she's absolutely adorable. And if I was, like a year younger, um,
Well, the good thing about the meth is it does keep them thin and svelte.
Charles Jr.
she,
Hardee's are the same thing.
yeah. While here, most folks don't know what the hell that means. It's a whole different world. Um, but just try it. It can't hurt.
I
You
wish I
know,
could. Like I said, our servers always just get rotated out, so you never know who's behind that counter.
that's weird, because I live in a pretty small town out here, and
Yeah, but in Kentucky, they've got 150 people all fighting for that one job.
I don't know what it is here. I think it's just that
weird.
certain people aren't doing the job properly, and they get kicked out because of how bad they are.
that's
And
weird.
math.
Because here in
Yeah,
California, we've got 150 people fighting to not have a job per job.
Yeah, whereas
So-
in Kentucky, at least in eastern Kentucky, where I'm from, if they open up an opening at like a Wendy's, you'll have 100 people
like
trying to
Yes.
get that job because there just aren't jobs.
Hey, rub it in, Death Angel. We went to In and Out. It was last Friday, and my family was just like they're still baffled the way I don't get out much. Maybe that's part of it, but how everybody at In and Out knows me. They go with me just as much as I go with them to In and Out, and everybody's there knows me, saying, "Hey, what's happening?" Shit like that.
It's like I said.
I mean, Shadow. We had a what was it? A Little Caesars here. They would barely you get the pizza raw there half the time.
That's fucked up. That's fucked
Yeah.
up. I hate that.
My cousin got it, and he said that he had to actually put it in the oven just to finish cooking it.
Yeah. See, you guys are
Little
talking
Caesars?
about you guys are
Caesars,
talking about
yeah.
all this fast food brought to you by Carl's Jr. I don't eat fast food.
We don't either. We don't anymore. I mean,
Well,
Bob
okay,
Murphy
about
is.
once a month or so, I might go through Wendy's, but
Man,
Well, right now we're going a
lie.
little more.
About once a month or so, I'll go through Culver's.
Right now we're going a little more because the kitchen is a disaster.
Right.
But we go Sunday morning. We go to Jack in the Box after church. Friday night's burger night, and
I think our best is Dairy Queen.
so like twice a week we go out to eat. And
See, for me, it just depends because usually after Mass, if you want to hang out, you can hang out and have coffee or tea. And sometimes the old ladies will make pastry or sweet bread or pierogi or pierogi or something like that. And you can just donate like a little money and eat there, Like they don't like if you just take the food and you don't donate, but they won't say anything. They'll just give you the evil eye.
we've got a end of the month.
Staring at you.
The last Sunday of every month, they have free donuts and coffee, and they don't ask for a dime.
Yeah, here they do because they're not being. I mean, the old ladies that make the food, they paid for it. And then the
Yeah.
idea is, you give them a little money and then they use that money to pay for the next one. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's-
Because the one
yeah.
thing that my church doesn't do is save money. Like Yvonne, whose father Nectarius, his goal, and he stated this like many times, is when it comes time to look at the offering box and count up whatever, that it has to be empty by the end of every month. Like, yeah, they don't save any offerings. It has to be gone to somewhere, whether it's a charity or a food bank or something. They and Father Nectarius has got a damn job. He does what Vic does. He's an over the road truck driver.
Really?
He don't get paid to be a priest. I think the only people who get anything in the Orthodox Church would be like bishops and above. And even for them, it's a stipend. So they don't make any money. They just get like enough money to buy deodorant and socks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even kidding.
That's fucked up. My church seems to be doing pretty well.
Well, no, this is on purpose.
Yeah, it's like they don't want
This
to.
this is not a bug. This is
No,
a feature.
A feature, right? So it's basically making sure that nobody's getting into that just to make.
Well,
money.
actually, I was going by the portliness of our priests, but we do have one priest, my favorite. He's like Ethiopian skinny, but all the other ones are like pretty heavy.
Yeah, but if they're Mexican, they can't help that. Come on.
One's either Pakistani or Indian. One is a white guy, which creeped me out. He's not actually the priest; he's like a deacon or something, but he wears
Right.
the robe. And
Right.
I went to talk to him once, and I went to shake his hand, and he had the longest goddamn creepy fingernails I'd ever seen on a dude, and he was white, bald, and probably in his 70s. I'm like, what the shit? It was like shaking hands with a lich. It was
Did you
just
ask him if he
weird.
was a vampire or something? What he's trying to do?
No, he was out in broad daylight, so it wasn't that. It was just weird. He's a nice
Well-
guy. He's funny too.
Well,
You
can
know,
he be a
he-
day walker?
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know, man. It's just creepy. I mean, am I wrong? Is that weird? Long fingernails on a dude is just
That's a little weird.
Yeah, that is
you
a
know. I
little
mean,
weird.
I get it. I've known a few guys who have like one or two because they use it as a tool, which is kind of weird.
I know
to
what
me.
you're talking about.
No, I don't mean a Coke spoon. I mean like an actual tool.
Oh,
Um,
a long, pinky nail.
No. This is like the pointer or the index. I know a few folks like that. They just let it grow a little bit longer, not like like a girl, but just longer. It's noticeable. It's like, okay, well, if that works for you, I've
I
got this
keep
thing.
my shit bit down to the quicks.
Same here, same freaking here. But is that weird?
It is. It is. I knew a guy who was not a priest, thank God, but he did grow his nails out really long. And I never said anything about it, but I always thought it was a little weird, like. But
Mhm.
no. In our church, if a priest is fat, it means his wife is a good cook.
Yeah. See, I can't use that word, because they're Catholic and they're not allowed to get married, which I think is absolutely retarded. But anyways, there's a Mexican. There's two Mexican guys. Wait, no. There used to be two Mexican guys. Now there's one. He's a kid, and he's like maybe 32, and he's pretty chubby. The Indian guy, Pakistani guy, whatever, he is very pudgy. I think he's I don't even know where he's from. He's got an accent, but I can't place it. And he's skinny as a rail, but he's also like older than dirt. So
Probably because your priests spend so much time doing priest stuff.
mhm.
And even when they're not like leading service, they're still studying and doing priest stuff. Whereas our priests in my church, when they're not leaving vespers or mass, they're working
Mhm.
because the church does not support their families. But if you're going to be like a layperson or like a priest like that, you kind of are expected to have a family. It's like,
Yeah,
You know, like-
That's
It's
one
just the
thing
way it is, you know.
I have a hard time getting on board with that aspect of Catholicism. I think they absolutely
I think
should
they'll
be able.
change it eventually. The only reason they made it that way is it had to do with inheritances and land and weird shit because the Catholic Church owned a lot of property in Western Europe. And so they were having like, what happens if, a priest marries a woman and then the priest dies? Then does the woman have the right to like try and take some of the church land? There was I'm really simplifying it and making it stupid, I think, but you get what I'm saying, right?
No, totally, absolutely. I hadn't even thought of that.
Oh yeah, it was all about who was inheriting what. Whereas in the East, it was a little different. But I mean, yeah, like I think bishops, they like it when the bishops and above, like patriarchs and all that, aren't married. But if you're like actually the people leading mass and stuff in the small congregations, they expect you to be married. And I think you can be married and a bishop, but generally speaking, that's very difficult. Because as a bishop, you've got to like work your ass off all day trying to take care of other shit. But as a priest, you're no better than your congregation, right? You got a wife, you got a job, you do your thing, and then you come in and sing the psalms and everything. See, here's the thing: Constantinople was Eastern Rome, so it was Orthodox Christian. So yeah, and the word Pope itself just means bishop. It was later changed so that now they talk about the Pope, But the original meaning of Pope was just another word for bishop. And so the idea that there could have been a bishop in Eastern Rome living in Constantinople with like 20 kids, absolutely possible. And wouldn't even have been against church doctrine necessarily, depending. Like, do you remember when all those guys from that one religion joined Catholicism and the Catholics wrote like this special thing saying that as long as they stayed married to their wives, they could be priests and still be married?
No.
It happened. I don't remember if it was the Episcopalians or the Methodists or whatever, but they had a whole breakdown and a lot of their priests decided to rejoin the Catholic Church, but they were already married with kids. So the Catholics just wrote them like a indulgence, maybe. I don't know what you would call it, but they got grandfathered in basically. They got to continue being priests, but they got to keep their wives. Which, I mean, that's pretty cool. And like you said, if you're going to do that, you might as well just let priests have wives.
The only problem I foresee these days is that a lot of them would want husbands. Not okay. And that
yeah, but we're not even getting to the weird shit. Let's keep this normal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of people would ever allow that, and I know for a fact that Orthodoxy will never allow that. That will never happen in the Orthodox Church. So,
with all the sort of NAMBLA stuff that went on a few decades ago, I know for a fact that didn't really change. It just got moved around or swept under the rug.
Yeah, it did. And the excuse that the Pope gave was that, mercifulness and forgiveness and all that. And I don't agree with it. In the Eastern Catholic Church,
wood chipper.
Basically, defrocked immediately, turned over to the cops. But you don't have it a lot because they're all married and generally have like 8 kids. Mm-hmm. So a guy who's just attracted to a woman and has a bunch of kids is not the kind of guy that's going to abuse, like a young boy. That's just not, I mean, a lot of people like me, I could never do anything like that because it's just not my nature to ever do anything like that. But if
Mhm.
you're a person and that is your nature, you definitely shouldn't be a priest.
Well, you should definitely be in the wood chipper already.
I don't disagree, but I was trying to keep it just simple.
I'm,
Right?
I'm, I'm sort of warming up. This is like a test run for morning reprobates, so bear with me.
Oh, no, no, always Shadow. I always bear with you. Yeah, like I would tell anyone if you walk into your church and there's a woman dressed up as a priest and there's a rainbow flag anywhere on the property, you walk out.
I'm lucky my church isn't like that.
You are not in the right church,
Oh,
whatever
definitely.
church it is.
Yeah.
I don't care what denomination it is. Yeah, if you walk in and you see that, turn around and head to the door because you are in a false church and it will do you no good at all.
I grew up in a General Baptist church, and that wasn't allowed.
Well, it's not allowed because in the Bible it says it's not allowed.
Yeah.
It's
And we-
it's not like just some random, idiot woke up one day and said, "Yeah, we're doing this or we're not doing that." I mean, it's doctrinal.
Yep.
And so no.
Excuse me, gents. I need to go. I forgot to bring water up here. Be right back.
All right.
We didn't use the Schofield Bible. We stuck to the old King James, the regular King James, without the study stuff in it.
Yeah, usually, who uses that most of the time is the ones that are actually running the show.
Yeah.
And that's why people like, I'm not just talking about your guy, but that's why people like Hagee are the way they are because, that's what they study and that's what they try and teach. And, so the second you hear somebody talking about, Israel and
Our preacher never said anything about Israel. He kept it to the Bible. He kept it
you
about.
got to bless them or else you'll be cursed and all that. Yeah.
They never heard that. That was the good thing, I think.
Right. Because the thing is, the Bible clearly says that Israel doesn't actually exist in the way people think it does.
Yeah.
Now, the state exists, but that's not actually Israel. If you
No.
follow scripture, the church is Israel.
Yeah.
And it's not a nation. It's like an ideology, and that's said multiple times throughout the Bible. So this whole you got to serve them or else God will hate you thing is like, no, I don't believe in that. And luckily, neither does the church I'm a member of. So I ain't got to worry about it. As a matter of fact, we consider that to be a heresy right there. That whole. But anywho, we are being reprobates, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Can still do what? Get married?
Yeah, I think he's talking about that.
Yeah, I have no problem, Death Angel, with priests getting married. I don't understand.
I'm pretty sure our preacher was. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, like I know all the preachers up in Kentucky that I ever ran into, whether they're Pentecostal or whatever, they are all married. Married and had 8 kids. Like half of their congregation would be their own children. You know what I mean? Which I think is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. Have a big family and try to live right and do the best you can. And half of them were working down at the lumber mill or something like that. They weren't getting paid. I mean, the idea of like preachers getting paid is like something that I had never really even encountered until I was much older.
I think I could see both sides, I guess, but it's just like maybe it's best to not have them paid.
See, when my brother, believe it or not, was thinking about becoming a priest in the Roman Catholic Church, what they do is they don't pay you. You live you live in a church owned house with the other people from the church you're going to work at, and they give you like $100 a month to buy, I kid you not, socks, underwear, deodorant, stuff like that. And that's it. But I mean, they feed you and you've got a room. Whereas with the Orthodox, you have to deal with all that shit yourself, but you get a wife. And I'll tell you, so if I had the choice of getting a stipend for socks once a month or being able to have a wife and kids, I'm going to take the wife and kids.
Yeah, I think I would too if I was in,
Because,
going down that path.
Well, because I love my wife very much. She's brought me nothing but, well, mostly nothing but happiness and joy. But we all have our moments, right? And I love my children very much. So I can't imagine. I mean, I would never want to be a male cat lady. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to be that. If it happened or if someone chose that, I'm not going to make fun of them. But for me, from as long as I can remember as a kid, I always knew I wanted kids, But I mean, that was my culture too. My grandparents had like 8 each at least. I'd have to actually sit down and count because I believe one had 8 and one had 11.
Same here.
So I grew up with the idea that I was just going to have a shit ton of kids.
I wanted a crap ton of kids. It didn't happen. Well, I mean, I may have a crap ton of kids that I don't know about. But
yeah, those groupies, man. You're a guitarist, right?
No, I was a singer. It's funny because I wasn't dating. I had an encounter with this one woman. It was a one night thing, and she was the sister of one of my buddies, and he and I stayed friends for a long time. But I didn't see her for like the longest time, and then I found out she had a kid, and she named that kid my first name. And I still never saw either of them ever again. So out there, I may have a son older than Jackie, because that's weird, right? If like within a year, you find that information out, wouldn't you like think things?
It shouldn't be that hard to find a kid of a certain age named Vlad.
No, I mean someone you slept with, and a year later you find out
she had over your head.
No, it didn't. I'm just ignoring it because
okay,
it's all the other aspects that are the.
Oh no, I was totally with you. I was just making a joke.
That was funny. That was funny. I'm not gonna lie, but.
And you said he has your first name, so of course I was going with Vlad.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I could be anyone from the past but immortal, I would want to be Alexander the Great.
But yeah, I picked Jackie's name out when I was 14, and I got my way. So
nice. Well, I don't know. Would I want to be Alexander the Great, or would I want to be Flavius Belisarius?
That's weird because I've heard people say that exact kind of thought experiment, and I literally can't think of a single person I'd want to trade places with.
Well, I mean, Flavius Belisarius was a badass, like of a whole different order of badassery.
Mm-hmm.
When the Roman Empire collapsed, Justinian, the emperor of Eastern Rome, sent Flavius Belisarius and his army to recapture the rest of the empire, and he did. He landed across the Aegean, whipped the shit out of the Germanic Lombards, liberated Rome, pushed the Lombards back to the mountains. Then he went to Sicily, liberated Sicily. Then from Sicily, he hit Egypt, I believe, and liberated all of North Africa. And and he did it with style and a cool ass name. I mean, come on. Flavius Belisarius. And we have in Orthodoxy, they have chants about Belisarius. Except they're singing in Greek, so it's Belisarius, you know, because in Greek the U is a lot of times ooh. But yeah, he's just a badass, man. Unfortunately, it wasn't long after that they ended up losing it all again because, you know, that's the history of Rome.
Who would be the best Russian czar to be like?
If I could be any Russian czar, it'd be Peter.
Fair.
Now, if I was talking any czar and we weren't talking about, you know, sex, I would say Catherine was probably the greatest.
Catherine the Great. She overthrew her husband because he was just being an idiot.
He was weak and
Russia.
stupid.
Apparently, he was a big Prussiophile and really liked Prussia and just gave everything back to them. And the other Russians were like, no.
Right.
No.
He was weak and stupid, so she sent his ass to the hunting cabin. I mean, it would be easy, too, to just say Ivan, since Ivan was the first czar of all of Russia. And the reason Russia's as big as it is Ivan.
They tried to turn him into a terrible leader, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, the Soviets tried to make him out to be a horrible human being.
I mean,
as a noble, of course, he did some effed up shit because nobles do.
Yeah.
Anyone that's surprised when they hear about a noble doing something really effed up, it's like, really?
Yeah, that's like the
part of
norm.
the job description, you know, betrayal and scumbaggery. I mean, I'll tell you what, R.R. Martin might be an ass, and I don't like him. But one thing he said, at least on the HBO thing, when you play the Game of Thrones, you either win or die. That is actually real life.
You know what, James? Here's the leader I'd want to be. Would want to be in history. Richard the Lionheart.
Yeah.
What?
You know, despite R.R. Martin's failings, I will give it up to him for one thing, a couple of things. He wrote a book on my favorite author after his passing, extolling his virtues and how much of a better writer he was.
R.E. Howard?
Nope. My good friend Roger Zelazny.
Oh, you keep talking? Yeah. I should have known that.
Yep. And that blew me away because I was going through eBay looking for some Roger Zelazny books that I don't have. And I kept coming across this one book about him. And then I looked at it and I'm like, oh my God, he wrote, because they did write together the wild cards thing he did way back.
Remember the wild cards thing?
Yeah, Zelazny was one of the guest writers in the first book, but I think he passed away right after that. But apparently, Roger was a bit of a he was starting to get into role playing games before he passed away, and George R.R. Martin wrote this really awesome book, you know, about what a great writer he was, and had a bunch of other authors do the same, and there was a bunch of like tribute stories, you know, in his style and that sort of thing. What happened to you, James?
My computer's acting up. Do you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're
Yep.
not only are you frozen, but you're frozen in like the most blurry, you know, 1970s freaking style
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah, it's
That's
time
right.
for me to end the show because
Okay.
the computer just did the thing where the screen turned white and now it's doing this. So
That's too bad. I wanted to show you one of the giants that Cal sent me because now I just
well,
did
well,
the
when you do your video, I'll watch it.
yeah, because I'm probably going to do a live stream tomorrow night because I think George said he's not feeling well still and expects to not feel better tomorrow. And I'm always like, I never plan that far ahead when I'm sick. I always hope or assume I will be better the next day. And if that doesn't turn out to be the case, then so be it. But maybe it's one of those things where, he knows his own body and symptoms. But we were going to play Alien Saturday online, but if not, I'll just do another live stream because those have been really popular lately for some reason. I don't know why people want
Nice.
to watch a bunch of old farts, shoot the shit, but whatever.
Well, I will talk to you guys later then, and have
Yeah.
a wonderful
Take
rest
care,
of your day, man.
Cold Iron
Yeah,
Hungar.
Shadow.
Good seeing you guys,
Yeah,
Vic. I'm
everybody,
stealing
good
your
to see you.
idea. Whether you like it or not, Vic, I'm going to do it.
The reprobate.